big mass figure. It had horns. This is where my body gravitated.
Oh, this chick literally goes through the car as we drive through, like spiritually.
That man sitting on the bed the night before.
The blue light flashed in front of our eyes.
Take a walk with me to the dark side, where the spirits are archived on the far side. Shadows with dark eyes and creatures that tell lies.
And there was a rocking chair. And it would rock by itself.
It's got some funky shit going on in it.
Very scary. It felt like someone was watching us the entire time we were walking. I hear this low pitch. Boo. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Ghosts. Hope I didn't scare you too much because we're going to talk about some spooky stuff today. So make sure to give this video a like, drop me a ghost emoji to let me know you're here and you watched me because it makes me feel happy and tingly inside. So today we're going to talk about Jerome, Arizona. So let's get down into it. Jerome, Arizona used to be a mining town, but now it is considered a ghost town because there once was mines that closed down in the 1950s. The population then declined to about 400 to 500 people. So Jerome was a copper mining camp founded in 1876. It was one of Arizona's largest cities by the 1920s, with a population of around 15,000 people. So imagine a town that had 15,000 people in it drastically declined to 400 to 500 people. That's like 10,000 people that just were part of the mining camp. When the Great Depression hit Jerome, it hit hard. The town had burned down several times, but it always came back. The smelter fumes that ran through the town killed off a lot of the vegetation for miles, which caused the soil erosion and excessive runoffs. And there were also open pit blastings that would rock the town with blasts of up to 5,000 pounds of explosives. So that's pretty drastic, and really that would make me want to move out of the town. Like, not being able to grow anything from the explosions and all the fumes, like, I couldn't imagine it would be very good for somebody. In 1967, snowfall hit and it destroyed a lot of the remaining buildings, and it had created the earth to sink underneath foundations, which then caused a lot of landslides. There's a building out there that had slid that they have kind of marked off, and they just kind of left it where it was just to kind of show how bad the landslides were in that town. The Jerome Historical Society was formed in 1953 to preserve what remained of the town. The Historical Society bought up most of the uptown Jerome, including its main street. They ensured that no more buildings would be torn down, so it's a pretty historical place. And you will be able to find Jerome, Arizona on top of the Cleopatra Hill between Sedona and Prescott. Let me know if you've ever been there. That was what I was able to find on the history of Jerome, Arizona. So let's get into some of the stuff about the city that makes it super spooky. This part has me creeped out. So the original sidewalks of Jerome, Arizona are made out of human remains. The human remains were cremated in furnaces, and their ashes were dumped on slag piles that were later on used to build the sidewalks of Jerome. So just imagine, like, this town has so much energy in it already. but to know that you're walking on top of human remains. And think of how disturbing that is too for the spirits, because they all kind of just got mixed in with each other. So of course it would bring a lot of chaotic energy, I would think. In Jerome, Arizona, there was also a red light district, and this house, I believe it was called House of Joy. I don't know if it was called that back then, but it is now. And you can actually see in this town where like the ladies used to stand on the balcony and stuff like that. And oddly enough, this building had burned down a couple of times, but they always rebuilt it and brought it back. So let's talk about some of the hauntings. So one of the most popular hauntings in this town is the Jerome Grand Hotel. So when it was a mining town, it was the Mine Towns Hospital and Asylum until 1950s. Around 9,000 people died between 1927 and 1950. 23-year span, 9,000 people died. It's quite a bit. But most deaths were caused by the mining accidents. One worker was actually found unalive in the boiler room, and another was under the elevator. I couldn't find out much more about those deaths specifically, but I'm really intrigued. Like, what happened in the boiler room? Was it a natural cause death? Was it a, and then the other one, how did you get under the elevator? What is the story behind that? Or under that? I would be very interested to know. In 1996, it was reopened as the hotel. It had sat vacant for 44 years before the hospital, or in between the hospital and the hotel. So imagine, when things go vacant like that, squatters happen, rituals happen. I didn't find anything that said anything specific like that, but it makes you wonder, a building sitting there for 44 years. You can't tell me it remained completely empty all of that time. So I'm sure that adds to a lot of the ghostly happenings. So the third floor of this hotel is known to be the most haunted floor of the entire hotel. And one of the ghost stories I did find was that on the third floor, when it was the hospital, it used to be the operating room. So, deaths happen there, traumas happen there between doctors and patients. I can only imagine, especially during the mining days, what could have happened there. So one of the ghost stories that has been told at the hotel is that on the third floor, people will see a nurse pushing a gurney down the hall, and then she will just disappear out of nothing. She'll just be pushing the gurney down the hallway and then just disappear. So that's pretty spooky to me, which, it kind of sounds like a residual haunting, just a memory of the building. So that is what I personally pulled on the Grand Hotel. If you look up Jerome, Arizona on YouTube, you'll see a lot of podcasters have gone there and investigated. So go check those out. One of my favorites went there, Paranormal Files. Now let's talk about the post office. So the post office, there's really not much information online about it. It is located just right outside of the town, a short walk from the town's free parking lot. So, this is a visitor's attraction. So in the parking lot, it's a short distance away from it, different than the rest of the town. So a lot of people miss it. If you've ever been there, let me know. So the structure of this building, though, because it is so old, it is disintegrating. The floors are falling, ceilings are caving in. So it's very unsafe to be there. So if you do go there these days, I highly recommend you just take a walk outside. I know if I ever go there, I'm just going to walk outside. And now I'm going to bring on my special guest today. He has been to Jerome, Arizona, and he has an experience at the post office, which I'm very excited for because most of the stories are at Jerome Grand Hotel. So I'm very excited to share this story, and here it is now.
Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me. You want to tell us about your experience at Jerome, Arizona?
The scariest part of my damn life. I did not believe in any ghosts until this at all, okay? I mean, I was skeptical, but so me and three of my friends, we decided just to go up there one night just to hang out because we live down in Cottonwood, which is only like 2 or 3 miles from Jerome. So we went up there with a bunch of weed and munchies and stuff. We were just gonna chill. We decided, hey, let's go into the abandoned post office. So we went in there and started looking around, and there was like all kinds of creepy noises going on, like creaking and humming, and we're just staring at each other. And then we smoke a little bit, calm down, and get relaxed. And then my friend hears a loud clunk sound, and he goes over there, and one of the old the plastic mailboxes is laying on the ground, right? So he picks it up, and then when he gets up, there's this creepy ass old doll sitting on the counter. So he picks up the doll and puts it in the mail thing and sets it on the counter, and then comes back over, and then like 5 minutes later we hear another clunk. The mail thing is on the ground and the doll is on the counter again.
Oh God.
And like there was nobody else here. We went and looked for like 10 minutes for anyone else around. There was nobody else there. And
you
then
would have heard somebody else too.
Yeah, because it's abandoned, it's quiet. And like it got really creepy. We didn't know if we were just like too high or something or what, but after a while we mellowed out again, and then all kinds of weird shit just started happening. Like I can't even. It was creepy, like extremely. And
Wow. How long ago was this?
7 years ago, around there.
7 years.
But I pulled my phone out and my screen was like flickering, like black and like the distortion thing. And then I was just like, okay. I told him I'm getting the hell out of here, dude. And so me and one of my other friends, we went outside and just waited, smoked a cigarette, whatever. And then he comes out screaming at the top of his lungs. And then I asked him, like, what the hell is wrong? And he's like, that damn doll moved. I'm like, you're tripping, bro. You were tripping. He's like, no, it moved. What do you mean? He's like, it moved its hand and winked its eyes. I'm like, okay. We're getting the fuck out of here. We never went back.
That is a really good, like, spooky ass experience to have. Seriously, like, sometimes it's just, oh yeah, door slam. No, you had like a full-on experience with a haunted doll, and then your phone acting up. I've heard of that.
It was
happening.
even creepier though, because like the whole Annabelle story. So it was like, yeah, it was pretty creepy.
I want a haunted doll. I always joke with Jessy and I say, why not? We can't have kids, so why not just adopt a ghost kid?
Probably tells you you're crazy.
That's what she says. She says no. And then the phone, that trips me out. Like, I've heard of that happening at Skinwalker Ranch.
Do you know how close that is to me?
Oh, how close?
A couple hours.
Dang.
Not even that, actually. I think it's like 40 minutes.
Wow. I'm not sure if I would want to go there, just because of all the radiation weirdness.
I've seen videos of people that have went there, and there's some creepy stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like all actual or what. If it's, I don't know, because I haven't been there, but not really something I would want to experience.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I wasn't really too scared with the ghost thing. It just creeped me out. Like, okay, what the hell's going on right now? But like ever since then, I've had a lot of experiences with that stuff. It's kind of weird. It just like started happening after that.
You know, it probably opened you up. Like, before, you said you didn't really believe in it, so you were kind of closed off to it, and then it was in your face.
My grandma had passed away a little bit before that. So I talked to this claimed psychic, and they claimed that it was my grandma trying to contact me. So why scare the hell out of my friends in the process?
Was she like that though? Was she kind of a smartass like that?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, she was kind of cranky at points, but never a smartass. But even to this day, like, there's weird stuff that happens around me. Like, it's just like, no. Like, I'll go out in the hallway, and the picture of me, her, my mom, and my uncle will always move. I'll straighten it, and I'll go out there, and it'll be moved again. I'm like, okay, I know you're here. Stop.
Yeah, I definitely think that's grandma. I'm not too sure if that at
I mean, her ashes are in the living room.
I'm not
so.
sure if that was, but
yeah, that might be. But I think that might have opened up the door or something.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, you didn't believe before, and then after that happened, you didn't have the choice
I believed
but
in
to
like
believe.
Spiritual stuff, like angels and stuff, but like ghosts that could hurt people and stuff, no.
Those are pretty powerful entities.
Yeah. I don't think the ghost in Jerome was trying to hurt us. I think it was just trying to tell us get the hell out.
Well,
like,
from what I hear, that a post office doesn't get visited very often unless you're a local or somebody who knows about it. Apparently, it doesn't get visitors very often, and especially since it's falling apart, it's a danger hazard now.
Yeah, after we did there, we talked to a couple people that said, "Why did you go to the post office?" There's a reason nobody goes there. I'm like, well, everybody goes to the hotel for a reason. Like, I mean, they want to experience that. I mean, the last place you're going to expect is the post office. I mean, you read everything. They said the most haunted place in Jerome is the hotel and stuff. So, like, that's the last place they're going to expect is going into the old post office and having an experience.
Yeah, I wish I could find more information about the post office other than it's falling apart and right outside of the parking lot. Like, I wish I could find more information on it. Like, what happened in that building to make it so spooky?
I haven't been in. All I was able to find is what I sent you. It's
That's pretty much all I was able to find online too.
I mean, the only best way is to actually go there and talk to the people that live there, I guess. But I ain't going back there.
I want to go. I definitely want to go and check it out. I don't know if I'll go inside the post office, but I'm definitely going to lurk around outside. See what I get. Ask questions. Maybe I can get some of the spirits to tell me what happened. Were they brought there? Did they die there?
Do you get all the readers and
there's
stuff?
a haunted doll, it's a possibility that someone had that doll and didn't want it anymore and ditched it there,
Or it's possessed by a child or something.
Definitely.
I mean, they say the Annabelle thing's true, so why not other dolls?
I definitely believe that dolls can be haunted. And they say the reason why spirits attach themselves to dolls is because it's the thing that looks most like humans. So they...
Yeah, or possibly it's something that they were highly attached to when they were alive.
Yeah, and I've also seen like haunted dolls that people will cut open and there's like pieces of hair and teeth and a vial inside the doll. So people are like capturing spirits and putting them into dolls.
And that's like witchcraft or voodoo right there. That's crazy.
Definitely.
That would, if I did that to that doll and that was in there, I think I'd have been a little bit creeped out. Have a vial with hair, blood, and teeth in there. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
You don't touch that, and you go to church right after.
Yeah, I probably would have took off. And it was weird because it was like it was an old doll from like the early 1900s. It wasn't like a modern doll. It was like one of the old porcelain things, like the glass face and the curly blonde loopy hair. That's the main thing that creeped me out. If it would have been like a Barbie doll or something, I'd been like, whatever. But the fact that it was so old, I'm like, yeah, this ain't normal.
Yeah, and it was definitely a ghost-related experience because if it was a porcelain doll and it fell, it should have broke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, the doll didn't fall. The thing it was in did.
Mhm.
Like the doll climbed out of it and pushed it off or something. It's like
that is creepy.
that.
And they like,
That's the one part that creeped us out the most. Is like, how the hell did the doll get out of the?
it makes me wonder if it like actually moved on its own or if it teleported. You know, like it would just from here to there. Like I don't
Who
think
knows?
anybody's actually captured a doll full on moving on camera like that. Like little gestures and movements, yeah, I've seen videos like
Using
that,
like
but
blinking
never
eyes
how
and
the doll
stuff.
teleports and moves from this area clear over here.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, I'd probably be open to having another experience like that, but with my heart conditions that happened, I don't know. I might croak.
Yeah.
If it's scary enough.
You gotta go have like good experiences, like places that you know are haunted by good spirits. Like I have seen a lot of those where the ghosts are like the perfect hosts. You know, like they're nice, they're kind, there's always good stories, it's never scary. It's
I
just
mean,
like validating sounds and
like that hotel. You read up on that, right? The hotel in Jerome. Yeah, there's good and bad stories in there. I don't know. Of course, they were the biggest populated town back in the cowboy days, so there's probably a lot of bad men that died there.
Yeah, and I think it's just really spooky that the entire town is built on cement that was made out of people's ashes. Like, wow, that's gotta hold
Did you
so
read the
much energy.
part about the hotel actually being built over an old cemetery?
I did not see that part.
I've heard that rumor, but I don't know if it's actually true or not. If it is, that would explain a lot of pissed off spirits.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, if you think about it, you know, especially today, we are probably on top of so many different cemeteries throughout the entire history of human
I mean,
beings, you
half of
know,
our
like
country is built on Native American cemeteries, like graves. So I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's highly possible.
Yeah, when I was little, I've always seen ghosts. And when I was little, I was talking to my aunt about it and I was like, why did so many people die in this apartment? You know, because I didn't, you know, realize that it could be more than just the one little apartment.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she goes, "Honey, the earth is so old. This apartment building is probably on top of somebody's grave, at least one person's grave. So of course
Or
there's
at
going to be
least 6 other
multiple
apartment
spirits."
buildings.
Like what?
Yeah. On top of 6 other apartment buildings.
Yeah. No joke. It's crazy. It is really crazy to think about the history part of that.
Yeah, people don't understand. There's like so much unexplained stuff that there's no way to know if it's real or not. You just have to believe in it, I guess. Like the alien thing, I mean, we're here. Why aren't there other life forms somewhere else? I mean, it's kind of common sense, you know?
Yeah, we are very conceited to think that we're the only creatures out in this entire universe.
I mean, if anything, all the animals that we see every day tell us that there's more life oh god, it's snowing. But yeah, that tells us that there's more life out there, because how do we know they all came from here? They probably came from other places. So if those exist, then ghosts exist. Spirits, demons. I know demons exist. I've seen them little bastards.
Me too.
Yeah, I had a very effed up experience when I was in my coma. I saw some stuff.
You want to touch on that a little bit? Because, I mean, coma experiences are pretty crazy.
Well, I felt like I was in limbo because I kept going back and forth. I was like having good experiences and then nightmarish as hell. One of them was crocodiles biting off my damn nuts because the guy thought I cheated on his daughter that I'd never even seen in my life. Another one, I was in this Chinese place, wrapped in a sleeping bag in a room that was like 200 degrees, and they were making us all sweat. And they come in and fillet the first layer of skin off of us, and then wrap us back up and let it heal and do it again. And then like loved ones could come visit me and stuff, but I could never leave. Like I was there willingly or something, which hell no. And then another one, I was ironically shark hunting with Whitney Payton and Tekashi 6ix9ine for some odd freaking reason. And I kept getting attacked by sharks every time I got in the water.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then this is the weirdest one. Like I kept having a lot of shark dreams. I don't freaking know why. But another one was I ended up in a area with a bunch of people in a little community that thought it was normal to mate with sharks in shark mating season and get impregnated by shark babies. And then they tried to make me do the same.
Man, what kind of dimensions were you visiting?
I have no idea, but it was messed up. And then one of the main dreams is, this is weird, right? So obviously I was in the hospital in a coma. In this dream, I was in the hospital, but I kept climbing to the top of the hospital and jumping off and just waking up right back in the hospital bed. And I came to, when I woke up, I told the doctor about it. He's like, did you ever hit the ground? I'm like, no. He's like, good, because you'd actually be dead if you did. I'm like, what? How would you guys even know this?
Is that the only time you've ever had dreams like that? About jumping off of something and not hitting the ground?
Mm-hmm.
So I've experienced that kind of dream throughout my entire life, and I've never hit the ground either. I've always woken up.
They say that if you actually die in your dream, you die. Like, I'm like, that makes me not want to go to sleep.
It's terrifying,
Ever.
yeah. But your body's reaction to it will wake you up, so that's why.
I think that's why they got the idea of Freddy Krueger from. But it was weird. Like that one just kept navigating the different hospital things. Like another one was I got out, I was disabled and being taken care of, and it's like all kinds of stuff that I wouldn't want, you know. So it's like I finally woke up freaking out, like what the hell happened, and blah blah blah.
That's crazy. It's like, have you heard of the lamp story?
Maybe.
So this guy, he had gotten a hit. I think he was in a car accident, and he went to the hospital. He was okay. He met this woman. They got married. They had a couple of kids. They had been together for like 10 years. And everything was great. And one day he sat down in his living room and he looked at the lamp and he said, that lamp doesn't look right. And he proceeded to stare at this lamp and not move, not use the bathroom, not eat, staring at this lamp. And his wife left and was like, you're freaking me out. You know, we got to get out of here. I'm done. You know, I'm going to my parents' house. And as soon as she left, everything started to fade away, except for the lamp. He was still just staring at the lamp and nothing else existed. And then boom, he woke up and he was still in the car accident from 10 years before. So he had an entire experience of 10 years. He had kids, he had a wife, he had a life.
I wonder if that happened after.
And then what?
I wonder if that happened afterwards. Like let him see his future or something.
I have no idea. But he said he couldn't find his kids, you know, back in the real reality. He couldn't find his kids. Every now and then he'd catch a glimpse of them out of the corner of his eyes, like they were ghosts. But like he searched all over online for his family, you know, to try to find the people that he knew in his coma dream.
Damn,
and never found them. So that kind of reminds me about your story where you were like, I cheated on this girl that I never even met before in my life. Like,
yeah, I've been with my wife almost 11 years. So it's like, and then there was weird ones where like, I'd be dating a best friend or something that I never would even do. And it's like, oh, there was another one. In this dream, we separated from the United States and all that. The whole world separated, and we created our own colonies. And somehow I ended up living under the water with about 200 different people. Yeah, that one's weird.
That one is
just
really weird.
Back and forth, like weird dreams, constantly.
Oh, that last one. That one.
I mean, I was in the coma for a month, so.
Conspiracies. Like, there are supposedly people in our ocean that, you know, went down there way long time ago and never came back up. You know, that are living in caves
weirdest
and
one.
shit. that one's weird. Like, did you
This
get a
is what-
premonition of what's to come?
Yeah, but this is what got me thinking I was in limbo is, so I was actually floating above hell. I actually saw Satan. He actually talked to me and actually told me my heart is not evil enough to be there. Like, literally, he shunned me away. And then it went black, and then I'm up in the clouds. It's raining and all that. And I see my grandma and grandpa to the left of me telling me, "You're not supposed to be here yet, baby. You need to go home."
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear a loud, deep, thunderous voice. I couldn't make out what it said, but it was loud. And then there was a crackle. I fell through the clouds. Thunder clapped. It started raining harder. Falling. Woke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think, that
Ever since
definitely
that
sounds like
experience,
normal.
my entire dark side I kind of pushed off because I used to do horrorcore rap and all that. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
That experience kind of showed me that everything everyone doubts that doesn't exist does exist. I mean, when you see your dead grandma and grandpa talking to you, and then you have an experience, it's something you would only see in the damn movies. It's like, yeah, dude,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think you came back with any gifts? Like, do you think you can see and feel more after your coma?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, the main thing I've gathered from it mostly is I can literally tell when somebody's not who they say they are. Like when they're fake. Like I don't know what it is, but I get an ESP. Like the second I talk to them or shake their hand or something, and just stay away from this person, instantly. And that never happened before. That didn't start happening until after the coma and stuff. So maybe it's a way of him giving me a gift to know who to stay away from so they don't mess up my life the way they did in the past. I don't know. Because I've always been too trustworthy of people.
Yeah. Same. That's wild. I Jesse's like that. So when she's like, that person is no good, I don't like them for some reason, I listen to her. I'm like, I don't care what reason it is, but I need to listen to her. And usually,
You
within
just catch a
few
vibe
weeks,
off of it. Yeah, they show their colors, and you're like, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's wild. I think I have too big of a heart and want to know that think everybody can be healed and everybody is good, but I'm learning in life that that's not always the case.
I mean,
Sometimes
everybody is
people are
good. The
just
problem
shitty.
is they don't want to be.
Mhm.
I've found that I have friends that have been the most amazing people their whole life, and then all of a sudden they're just horrible people. And then vice versa. I think most of it's just, does that person want to be that person? Or do they just want to keep being a jack? A word. I don't want to cuss too much.
Well, is there anything else you would like to share with us?
No. I think you need to go to Jerome and Jessy and go live.
We're
Literally
definitely
get
planning
the
it.
EMPs and all that stuff, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee you go to that hotel, they will spike bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I think
I am excited.
I think there's a few. If you look on YouTube, I think there's a few ghost hunters that actually went there.
Yeah, one of my favorite paranormal shows, The Paranormal Files with Colin Brown, he's been there. So yeah, I've seen a couple of people go there. I can't wait to go myself.
There's a bunch of places in Denver. I'm surprised you haven't went yet.
Denver's getting a little difficult. Like there are a few spots that I can hit up, but some of them, like Third Bridge, for instance, I have a part 1 episode of that during the day, and I've been waiting to go back at night, but so many people have gone and like partied and gotten hurt and stuff that cops just sit on that road all night now. So it's kind of hard to go to certain places because people have kind of ruined it for everybody else, and it's just a thing out here in Colorado now. Can't do anything anymore.
Can't do anything anywhere anymore. They ruin it for everybody. Sadly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as soon as it gets warm, though, there are some spots we're definitely gonna hit up.
I know there's like a mountain range up there that's haunted, right?
Oh God, the entire mountains is
It
haunted.
was like an old cultist camp or something.
I don't know. There's
My
quite a few spots up in the mountains.
my wife's aunt and uncle live up there.
Yeah.
So they live closer to the mountains, and they're always telling me about like weird experiences. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's an old cultist camp where they all committed mass suicide, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of ghosts up there.
The mountains are just weird, especially in Bailey. Like, we're pretty sure that there's like a part of the mountain that opens and closes that UFOs can go into.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd like to watch it.
Yeah, people see a lot of weird shit up there. Like a couple years ago,
You need to look
went
into
camping up there, and we did like 3 episodes of people just telling us their stories and their experiences, and it's fucking scary up there at night. Like, soon as it gets dark, you can feel yourself just being surrounded by shit you can't see. It's terrifying.
Did you hear about the Area 51 story? The guy that he found that big like cave, but it didn't go anywhere. It just stopped, and it was like all the noises and all that stuff he was hearing, and then he just got lost and disappeared, and nobody was able to find him. Like, he just disappeared without a trace.
Oh wow, no, I didn't.
Yeah, look that up. This type Area 51 cave or something. It's all over YouTube. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I would not suggest going there, but it's interesting.
Yeah, don't go there. Just read about it.
It's close to the area that's supposedly where they study. They have all the, what do they call them? The big buildings that just look weird. They're like they study aliens and all that. That's apparently what they say that it's close to. And he got too close, and
that's creepy. That is very creepy.
It's all over the place.
Oh wow. All right. Well, you gave me more to look up, so I appreciate that.
Oh, I know all kinds of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Like, after that experience, I started getting into all that. I used to, before then, I watched Ghost Hunters a lot, but like, Ghost Hunters is a bunch of BS.
I get bored with Ghost Hunters because if something
they just rig everything. You can tell too. Yeah, it's all for views. They rig everything.
Mm-hmm. And if you listen to a lot of podcasts, especially like people who aren't famous, they'll tell you like celebrity ghost stories. That one was amplified. They even told people in interviews, oh yeah, it was as simple as I woke up and my grandpa was sitting at the foot of my bed, but they dramatized it so much that my story turned into a half an hour segment. Like weird
like
things
my friend
that.
right now, his grandfather passed away, and like he keeps seeing the wet spot on the couch in the shape of legs and stuff. So I mean, yeah, they'd probably turn that into, his grandfather's haunting him, trying to kill him. It's like, nah, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's why I like watching YouTubers and stuff like that, because YouTubers, there are some out there that'll fake stuff, but there's some of them that are like, just to give you a heads up, we didn't get any evidence on this episode, but here you go, you can still watch. Like, they're very honest about it, and they treat the places with respect. They don't antagonize. Like,
I think it'd be cool to do that just for fun, especially if I can make money off of it, just a living, to do something that would be fun.
That's my goal. My goal is to be a paranormal investigator, and the day I get to paranormal investigate with Steve Shippey is the day I know I made it.
We'll get to it.
That is my goal. So I gotta get my ass in gear this year and go hunting.
You just gotta get the equipment and stuff. Get to it.
Mm-hmm. And
even just a regular tape recorder. Even just using your phone's voice recorder works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching a lot of them, and it picks up the stuff. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, there's an experiment I want to try, which I guess if you want to know the experiment, you'll just have to watch my paranormal investigating shows this upcoming summer. But there's a lot of stuff with the phone that you can do. It's really exciting.
Yeah, they have apps and stuff for it too, I think.
Yeah, I have one of them, Spirit Talker, which it
just,
works pretty good. I've been validated through it several times, so.
it's just creepy though.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it
The
makes sense.
possibilities are limitless.
The main reason I know my grandma's around here, I have 3 dogs.
Hmm.
And dogs and cats can see things we can't.
Hmm.
The German Shepherd will literally just stare in one place and won't move. Just stares. Even when you call him, he's just staring. And then all
Hmm.
of a sudden, he just goes back to normal. It's like,
Hmm.
that's creepy. And it's always towards her ashes.
Yeah. I used to have a little poodle and a dachshund, and I had my grandparents sitting on a shelf, and every now and then they would just start staring at the shelf. Both of them would start staring at the shelf and barking, like a happy bark, and I'd be like, oh, well, they're here, hello. And then my dog now, one time we were living at this house and she just started barking like crazy at the ceiling. And I just looked up at it because I could feel it. And I just looked up and I was like, you need to leave my dog alone right now. That is not okay. And I could feel its energy slink back into its bedroom. It was crazy. And Jessy was just kind of like, what just happened? And I was all, don't worry about it. Everything's good now.
I've always wondered why kids can see ghosts but adults can't.
Because their minds are open.
The only thing is just that their minds aren't filled with so much nonsense it isn't needed. They just plus they're
Well,
innocent.
we're conditioned to not believe it and to ignore it, like when I don't know if this experience ever happened to you when you were a kid, but some people will like, hey mom, I saw something weird in my room. What was the number one response we got back then? Oh, it's just your imagination, just ignore it.
Yeah, like the ghost, like the monster that was in my closet or under my bed. Yeah,
Yeah, my
I'm
family's
telling
always
you, I
been.
had a giant rat under my bed with red eyes and very sharp teeth, and nobody believed me.
No, it's
I
creepy.
saw it a lot, but I was 6 years old, so I mean,
Hmm.
could have been my imagination.
I don't know, my family was always pretty open to it. I don't like growing up in my grandma's house. If you ever want to check out that episode, it's like the second episode I ever did. Uh, I don't think any of us could deny spirits and ghosts. It was just too much in our face, and all of us had the experience. So,
Especially when you're sitting there at the table and the sink is one of the ones where you pull down to turn the water on, and it just goes down by itself and turns on full blast. Like, yeah, what would do that? No, no.
no, we had the front door fly open on us, and it was deadbolt. It had all the locks locked, and it just flew open on us one day, and we were all sitting there watching TV. It was like my aunt, one of my cousins, my grandma, and myself, probably more people. And it just flew open, and my grandma was like, well, come right in then. So she
Yeah, that's
invited them.
just creepy. That's just creepy. Dead bolted and flung open.
Yeah, a lot of shit happened at that house. I've been wanting to go back since they sold it and ask the new people if anything happens. Because that house had a portal in it. It was insane. Insane.
Go for it. Ask them if they've experienced. Tell them your grandma used to live there and all that, and ask them if they've experienced anything. See what they say.
Yeah. What's the worst they're going to tell me is, no, you're weird. Get out of here.
Yeah, they'll just call you a weirdo and make you leave. That's about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
All right.
All right, guys, what did you think about that? That was pretty spooky. There was a haunted doll involved, really physical encounters. The thing with the cell phone, that is super spooky. Well, I enjoyed that. I personally cannot wait to go to Jerome, Arizona myself. I'm very excited. Hopefully the summer will be the summer we get out and about and go explore. And until next time, you guys, keep it creepy. Bye.